My single solitary viewer, the year is 1972, and it's time to build an entirely new team. We have a budget of $88. Yes, inflation. That's really what it is. I would like to have a balanced car this time, as opposed to conservative. I think it's time we step up. In the early career drivers that we can lock in, we've got Luigi Moretti and Levi Mack. Levi Mack, unfortunately, is a jerk. And that gives a penalty to the engineer. Whereas Luigi, there's one track in America. So Luigi, our American driver, for an American team, might actually be a good idea. He's handy and he's personable. I think I would like to invest in Mr. Moretti. In 1972, we are moving up in the world. Okay, we're going to go with Luigi as driver number 1. And Tristan Loup will return. He actually put our team on the map, I think. So we should have him again. All right, what I think I'm going to do, because he's early career, I think I'm going to spend on Alberto Nieri. I'll lock him in. Yeah, we're going big. I would prefer either a crew chief that helps us with keeping our tires longer, like this guy, the rubber strategist, so that we can pit less often. So it's not the best crew, it's not the best pit crew guy, but I think I'm gonna go with Timo Rantanen. He's a rubber guy. Francisco Silva would be much better, but he's $4 more expensive. Well, you know, $4 is actually fairly easily earned. And he's going to give us the advantage of being to use dry tires on wet tracks more efficiently. So, and we've seen how often rain happens. It happens so often that it's happening right now. As we make this decision, we're going to go, we're maxing out. I wonder if all of these expenses are going to be enough to put us in the top 3. The goal is to be a really solid 4th, and then as we prepare our move to the top 3 this season. But I think anything below 4th place in the constructors would be a disappointment. We've got an almost entirely new team with only Tristan Loup returning. So Speed Art is going to be our sponsor. It feels like a really good fit here. Is a choice that will help us maximize our money gains. So now we have we went from $88 to $8. So let's see where some of our friends end up. See if we recognize some names here, because we do want you know, our friends to have careers that keep going. We don't want Albert Steiner is now with April, as is Christoph Fischer, so they're back together. April, that might be bad, like you have our 1970 lineup here, but they're going like full German. Full German is April now. Pratama has become the number 1 driver at Bancroft after a terrible season last time with us. Maybe he's gonna have better luck with Bancroft. We're hoping that will be the case for him. And that is all. But the first race of the season is going to be at Francis Hollow. We're going to have 2 British Grand Prix in a row. We're going to go to Japan, that I think you guys haven't seen yet. Potenza, Noordzee again. We're going to go to Canada, which is another dangerous track. We're going to Brazil. We're going to have Stretto back to South Africa. And we're going to finish the race in Monaco. Finish the season, I mean, in Monaco. But right now, it's the engines. The engines are a little bit low. So we might want to build a new engine as when we can. The quality is going to be pretty good. Let's get our engineer to build a new engine. This is the first time actually in 3 seasons we build a new part. So you can see the performance level is higher here. It's 2875 instead of 2725. 70% reliability is still pretty high. It's still good, so we should be able to have that for a few races. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Things are looking up. We might actually go from worst to first. So we got a rainy qualifications. Let's go. Qualifying ended with a yellow flag that actually went in our favor. And we qualified on the first and second row, in second and third, with Tristan Loup, surprisingly, because he was the second driver, so he had just slightly better traction on the track. We're on the first row for the first time in Night Team's history. Of course, it's a new season with a bigger budget and stuff, but it's Tristan Loup who gets it, not the new, higher skilled driver Luigi Moretti. So good for them. We're starting on I'm starting on hards. So there's going to be rain. It's going to be rainish at the beginning, with a chance of rain increasing in mid-race, and we might have to switch to inters. Let's go! But we're the only idiots. Oops, we're the only idiots on hard tires. Managed to generally keep our positions here in the early parts of the race, but the only fools on hard tires. We'll have to see how the climate works with or against us. We'll have to see. Briefly, we led the race. We're still leading now, not leading anymore. We're going to be leading when people start pitting, though. That much yellow flag. So there's going to be some people pitting, the ones on soft tires. We will have to switch to inters at some point. We're going to try to delay that moment from happening for as long as we possibly can. Everyone is on inters now. And yes, the window for inters is now. I think I have to Pete. So Moretti has taken the lead in the Grand Prix. So he's going to have priority for the pit lane priority. Well, let's send him in. And Loup will have to try and survive another lap in very wet conditions for him. I did not expect us to be 1-2. I expected us to be fourth. Alright, Moretti will actually have to save his tires just a little bit, so I think he's going to get overtaken by Loup for a little bit. Yellow flag. Oh, people going on full wets. Hold on. Did I F up? Because now that I missed the yellow. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna stay on inters unless another yellow flag happens. Yeah, the wets are taking over. Well, they're losing a lot of time. Yeah, I really messed up bad. Like, I'm recording this early Sunday morning. I'm still having my morning coffee, and I have not woken up yet, and that much is clear. So I need to learn from this to drink more coffee before I start playing. Otherwise, you know, you get what you get. You get what you deserve. I binotoed this because I wasn't paying attention to the weather. But, you know, it's the best result in team history already. It gives me the impression that there's a chance the season might go much better if I, like, wake up than I expected. The next race, of course, is Muttonchop. We'll do our best in qualifications. So we got a qualifying result here at Muttonchop stacked by teams. Really well defined. However, this time it's going to be in rain again. We'll be starting on inters like the rest of the fields. I think this is the perfect time to pit for full wets. So I'm going to do it with Moretti. Which means, of course, that Loop has another lap to do on the inters, which is fine. Because I'm pitting a little early compared to everyone else, so I'm actually going to let... No, okay, I'm not the only one. I'm looking out for a potential yellow flag, but it might not happen, and we already have a lot of people pitting. So I'm gonna follow the trend and do the same thing, because I can't have my tires, you know, drop on our drivers. Gotta do what you gotta do. Moretti somehow took first place here. I don't know how long that will last. And he's got a good lead. He's got a solid lead now. And we've got our first win. First win. Muttonchop. Second race of the season. I get the advancements for my... I thought it would be for my first win, but it's for using a win with only wet tires. But this is a historic moment in Team Knight's history. We were worst, and today it is verified we are first. Luigi Moretti with the first win for the team. But Chapman is actually first off course in the standings. But Knight is a second in front of Labran and in front of Totally Not Ferrari, who's fourth. Wow, talk about a place that feels familiar in modern day. Qualifying's now complete in Japan. Took a little gamble with Tristan Loup and didn't really pay off, so he qualified 7th, while his teammate Luigi is 3rd. So we're on the 2nd row and 4th row, and we're gonna have a race that starts dry but goes to wets pretty early. Well, I'm midway through, actually, midway through. So I want the hards to get me there, or the mediums. I'll go from hards straight to wets or inters, depending. And that's what I'm gonna do. Whee! And with aggressive driving, we managed to lock in 1-2. And I think I'm gonna ask Loop to not fight with Moretti here. Okay, we got a yellow flag. The rain is a beginning. So some have decided to go straight to inters right away. So being dumb, that's what I'm going to do with Tristan Loup. And I think I'm going to gamble with Moretti and hope a better opportunity shows up. Some people have decided to go to softs. So I think I'm gonna lose some positions with the Loop. And I don't know how things are gonna shake up for Moretti, who's now leading the race. So it looks like we're gonna have a full wet type of race. So I'm gonna try to hold on with hard tires as long as I can and go straight to full wets. Okay, Mach just pitted for inters, and I'm gonna have our man pit for full wets. and hope they last for the entire race. That's going to be the gamble here. Am I doing genius moves or am I Binotto-ing this? That's the question. And I expect Moretti's competition to go pit. So they might overtake him right now. Oh, and they'll pit during this this yellow flag. This yellow flag actually helps me conserve my tires, though. But so they all pitted during the yellow flag. So they didn't lose as much time as I'd hoped. We're gonna see. I have to make these tires last for a couple laps. So they're gonna catch up here. So let's burn some gas to keep this first place for Moretti. Give him another win this season. That'd be really sweet. And I believe we just locked in another win. Luigi Moretti, another win for the American driver. And Tristan Loup finishes 5th, which is not bad. But Chapman getting a lot of points because their two drivers are really top-notch. And the car is top-notch as well. So while Luigi Moretti just took the lead in the Drivers' Championship, Chapman is still solidly first in the Constructors. I'm making a lot of money, but I often do this while we're not recording. But because I've built 2 new engines so far, they're actually stronger than the default engines that we started with. I think it's one of the reasons why the car is doing pretty well. The newest one is actually quite strong. This is Luigi's. So if you see a performance gap between Luigi and Tristan that is bigger than it was in the first 2 races, that's the reason why. And I think it's time to build 2 new steerings and hope for the best. That's not bad. So we'll give that to Luigi, and we'll eventually build a new one for Tristan. And they'll be set to race in Potenza, Italy. Qualifying's done in Italy. Given the timing of things, I managed to put a last lap on softs for Moretti in spite of the rainy weather, and that's because of our pit crew chief who gives us an advantage with dry tires on the rain. I think that managed to give us a first row position. Qualifying number 2 for Luigi Moretti. I was not under the impression that the hard tires were that much slower. Why are we starting on inters? Get out of here, you nerd. Thomas Walker. Feels invigorated, that little bastard. All right, Levi Mack partied too hard. That might be the advantage Moretti needs because he's the only idiot in this race on soft tires. So we're gonna have to hope there's yellow flags in our favor here for pitting because I'm the only idiot who went to softs. But the tires obviously won't last very long. And there's no... Alright, there were no favorable yellow flags. Barely built up a lead. Barely. So obviously that was a bad decision. But can I have these hards last the entire race from there? Maybe. I'm gonna have to try and have them complete another lap before we pit. Let's have him conserve these softs just a little bit, and I might be able to do soft hard. Of course, conserving cost us a position. But now, well, now I'm getting the yeah. Okay, we're pitting here. So Moretti really losing a whole lot of positions there. What I have to hope is that he's going to have some kind of track position advantage when the rest of the field does their pitting. So, Luke's pitting for mediums, and who's gonna come out first? Well, Mach. Mach is gonna come out first. But Moretti did have his track position, and that did work for him in his favor. We got a yellow flag here. Well, the race did not go as planned. With the rain there at the end, I was expecting we'd have some kind of advantage, but really, okay, I have to make a mental note that I'm immediately going to forget. Potenza is hard. The softer tires don't seem to provide any advantage, really, so it's hard. But we've got much better cars. And we're going to exploit this in the Netherlands. Let's hope we don't get shot by ghasts. Well, of course it's raining. Duh. We got another really good qualifying result for Luigi. Tristan obviously does not have the same car. The best new parts, Luigi got them. So we gotta have more rainy weather in the Netherlands. You know, it's as if the country should be underwater. But we're starting on the first row. Am I gonna mess this up again? Probably. Everyone's got the same strategy, so at least there's that. A red flag. Alessandro Rinaldi has decided to crash, and it don't look good. So I think I'm gonna switch now to full wets. Well, this is the perfect window for inters, really. And the wets really come here, right? Oh dear. I'm gonna keep Moretti on inters. This is probably where I mess up, and I'm gonna have Tristan switch to full wets. Okay, at this point, we're in full wet territory. The thing is, if we make our intermediates last longer, we can get full... We might... No, we won't get the full wets to last. So I think we pit now. We do it, bite the bullet, get things done. And others have decided they would make their full wets last. Oh, we got a yellow flag. Tristan Luke crashed. That's a shame. That's a shame. I mean, Moretti has got a huge lead here. But I don't know if he can keep it. Because I do... Oh. Hold on. Okay. Because he needs another pit, and I can do that right now. I can get another set of full wets and bring those home to the finish line. And Moretti will have pitted under a yellow flag as well, just like the other teams. Don't push yourself too hard. You've got an advantage that is extremely significant. And there's our win. And we're a solid second in the standings. Let's go to Canada. Qualifying's done in Canada, and I managed to golden tune engine, chassis, and steering for both cars. So 6 golden tunings. This is my best qualification ever. And Luigi has pole. And I'm not talking about what's in his pants. But we've got a sunny afternoon in Canada. You're starting on the first and second row. Mach started on softs. There goes Mach. He went and pitted for hards, so he decided to do soft hards. But Moretti's slowly losing time. His old tires are not keeping up. So I'm gonna have him pit. His old tires weren't keeping up, but, and I say but with a capital B-U-T-T, maybe that's going to switch around in the late race, because he's going to want to keep his tires longer, and at the end of the race, Moretti's tires are going to be fresher. Moretti gets in first, because Mach actually crashed. I don't think Loop is going to catch up to Woods, but I do want to make sure he gets a podium. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen, unless he crashes on the goddamn penultimate lap. It's over. He nailed it. Luigi in first, Tristan on the third step. Things are looking up for Knight. And Luigi is first in the Drivers' Championship. Tristan is not a bad fifth. Not a bad fifth. And Knight is caught up just a little bit to Chapman. It is Ondasrolando. Starting dry but getting wet as we go on. Maybe our it's not going to get wet enough, and maybe our pit crew chief advantage of wet in the wet is going to help us. In either case, we're going to send out our boys to do their qualifying. Unfortunately, we still can't compete with Chapman. Not quite. Not car versus car. Or maybe it's because Mach drives at his namesake speed. But we're in Brazil and on what looks like a famous track. But oh, no, it's Ondasrolando. So if you see, these softs are capable of driving under the rain. And with our pit crew chief, I think that's the advantage we have to take. And then we switch to inters or full wets, depending. But we're gonna make the call when it's time to make the call. Let's go! I can't have Moretti and Loop pit on the same lap. So I just want to make sure that Loop drives by before I can bring him in for the same tire. Now, there's some drivers who went to one driver bravely went to full wets. I think there's going to be another yellow flag that is going to let us go to full wets. Did I call it or did I not? Mikko Kukkonen crashed and it looks bad. It could be the end of Mikko Kukkonen. You never know. In Golden Lap, you never know. Do we want to keep inters or go with full wets? I don't know, because I'm not smart enough to make that kind of important decision. Well, we repair everything, and I say we keep inters. Everyone went to full wets. I might be what they call in the business a moron. Now, obviously, the current weather is perfect for inters, not so much for full wets. But already, we got a yellow flag. This is the time to come and pit again. It's time for full wets. So we got yet another yellow flag. And this is time to make Tristan pit for new full wets so that he can get to the end of the race. Moretti will stay out. Unfortunately, I don't have a choice. I have to pit Moretti now. So that's not a win. That's going to be a big win for Chapman. Mach has really old tires, but I'm running out of laps. Oh, Moretti did do the overtaking. He did do the overtaking. Old tires are officially slow. Oh my god, Mach actually had to pit at the end there. So it's another win for Moretti. Another win for Moretti. Luigi Moretti is number one. Is le champion. Giving Knight 32 points to Chapman's 30. Moretti is actually doing well in the drivers in the The championship. Chapman is still solidly in the lead here. We're back in Italy at the Don't Call It Emilia Romagna. Let's call it Stretto. Qualifying completed. It went pretty good for us. We still can't beat Mach. But we lock in 2 and 3. So I'm not going to complain. If we can manage to get a good amount of points, especially like if Tristan can outperform Paul Woods, I would be pleased. And I think this is going to be a hard type race. Mach has a very different strategy, as does Woods. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? We'll have to see. Whee! Not a good start for Loop. But we've got a red flag. Asuka Shikinami pushed the car beyond the limits of the track and crashed. I think I'm going to switch to medium tires. To go for a medium hard. But how is everyone else going to react? I'm not sure. But it looks like Mach's strategy of starting on soft paid off because of this red flag. So Mach ended up pitting for hards here. And I forgot to remove Tristan from the push without the tires thing. So he's been driving like very stressed, poor kid. And even then, he still didn't catch up to Woods. And we've got a failed pit stop, our first of the year. This is not the best time for this kind of shenanigan. But we have a yellow flag here. But Moretti, I think, will take this time to pit for hards. Because it's a bit of an opportunity in that respect. And Woods is the one who crashed, which I had not picked up on. But that means this is really good in the Knight versus Chapman championship. Oh, Mach going with the soft tires here and hoping to catch up so quickly he might steal the win. I'm hoping he might not, obviously. I'm hoping he might not. And I think he, unless Moretti crashes, which we've seen before, yellow flag right at the end. But we get 2 podiums, another win. Luigi Moretti, this is actually a big race. Not just for Luigi, not just for Tristan, who gets another podium, but a great performance for Knight compared to Chapman. Luigi's starting to take a decent lead in the standings, but Knight, by 2 points, just overtook the opposition. That is so sweet. Next, we're going to South Africa. So, suddenly, we have a pretty good steering on one of the cars. The other one's not bad either, but one of the cars has some spectacular engine and spectacular steering. The chassis would need work, but I don't have the money to buy new parts. So, you know. Well, I do have the money, but anyway, this is a dangerous track. We want to perform, but ideally, it'd be best if none of our drivers died. Luigi out, qualified the competition and got pole. And I'm not talking about what's in his pants. But we're still hoping, still got our fingers crossed. We've got a lot of guys in the pits. They're very depressed. Do I want to pit Tristan this lap? I think I do, right? It only makes sense. We know that old tires are really, they don't perform very well. So we're gonna get him onto mediums. We've got a yellow flag, which is perfect to get Tristan on softs for the finish of the race. We're going to drive the engine hard and hope for the best. Moretti just overtook Ambrosio to get the lead, and Loop might actually get the best of Woods. Am I good on fuel? Yes, I still am. So let's keep that pace. Tristan Loop is complaining that the car corners badly. Well, this is not the time to come in and pit, Tristan. I understand that the car's getting a little old, but you're going to have to buck up and stop complaining. And this race is over. Again, 2 podiums. And Chapman is just not in the top 3 at all. So this is an ideal scenario. And Luigi is at a perfect 200 points. 50 points. I have a Levi Mack, which I believe means the Drivers' Championship. It belongs tonight. The Drivers' Championship belongs to Luigi Moretti. That is now confirmed on the penultimate race of the season. But Knight has not confirmed the Constructors' Championship. If everything goes completely wrong in the final race and everything goes in Chapman's favor, Chapman can still pull through. So we must not underestimate them. And the final race is going to be in Monaco. Ambrosio with Wayland got pole, which is, I mean, obviously Wayland has been working on their car. Moretti is 3rd behind Levi Mack. And Tristan Loop with his crappy ass car is 9th. And we don't want to end too far behind Paul Woods. Let's get this race started. Whee! Things not going the greatest for Loop. I mean, he maintains his position, but I was hoping he'd do some climbing. Maybe that's going to happen when cars start pitting. I'm very much looking for a timely set of yellow flags. Keep my mouse on the pause button in order to try and capitalize on any yellow flags from here on. And in that respect, it's been a very uneventful race. But here we have it. Oh, and Moretti just missed it. But Moretti and Loop are so far apart already that I can have them both come in and pit. So there's going to be a little bit of rain, but it clearly is not going to be enough. So I'm going to pit hard for both of them. And let the dry tires and the rain advantage that our pit chief brings to the table do some work for us. Moretti just got into 1st place, and he's got a pretty decent lead too, but this yellow flag might change things. Give the opportunity to Ambrosio and Mack to catch up. The big challenge here is that Mack and Woods, while not in the lead... Tristan, I think we've been over this, right? Like, you do realize there's only 10 laps left, right? We can't come in and repair the damn car. You're in the points. You got to buck up and stop complaining, lad. See, you overtook Ryan for a brief moment. That didn't last at all. Ambrosio took 1st, but Moretti took it back with some aggressive driving. But this is going to be a close one all the way to the finish because Ambrosio's got much better tires. So I'm going to have to be aggressive with Moretti to try and steal that win away for the final race of the season, and we've got it. Loop actually managed to gain some positions from 9th to 5th. So I think we did it. We went from worst to first. Worst to first. Another win for Luigi Moretti. The American driver gets 36 points. No, Knight gets 36 points. The American driver, you know, gets the Drivers' Championship. It's actually ended up with a comfortable 226 points. Beating Levi Mack in his own hometown, right? No, Levi Mack is actually Austria. Luigi Moretti, yes, gets the gold trophy. And the Constructors. The Constructors goes to Knight as well. So Knight with 8 race wins, all belonging to Luigi Moretti and Tristan Loup, deservedly get the Constructors Championship. And I got the advancement for winning a championship with Team Knight. And we'd have a lot of money for next season. So in 1970, we were 8th. In 69, we were worst. In 71, 5th. And in 1972, 1st. Best in the world, worst to first. We did it. My single solitary viewer, I want to thank you for watching these episodes. If you want more, if you want to see more, well, you're gonna have to tell me in the comments. But that's the end of this. Thank you very much for watching, my single solitary viewer. If you want to see a different team or a 1973 season, do tell me in the comments, and we'll see. We'll get what we'll get. These episodes actually take a pretty decent amount of time to edit because it's compressing an entire season in a single episode. Makes for long episodes as well. But probably, I'm going to go out on a limb, but probably you wouldn't want to have 10 episodes per season. So that's why I did it that way. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Accompanying me on this journey from worst to first with Team Knight. So long.